Today we're going to do an unfiltered tour of downtown Long Beach, California. We're going to be exploring why downtown Long Beach is so underrated, looking at some of the homes and the home prices and some of the attractions that make this city a unique place to live. All right, so right now we are standing in front of the Aquarium of the Pacific. It is a must-see. If you come to Long Beach or if you live in the area, you're gonna wanna come check this place out. It has exhibits. I mean, you could spend all day in this place. It's actually really cool aquarium. People come from around the world to come to this aquarium. It actually sits right on the water. Imagine that, an aquarium on the water. You know, it's really cool. I took my grandkids here about a year ago, and they had a great time walking around, checking out all the exhibits in the aquarium. But it's definitely one of the places that a lot of people come to visit, to come down to downtown Long Beach, and it's one of the things that makes this part of the city unique. The thing that I always thought was funny was right across from the aquarium is a Bubba Gump's shrimp company, like right across the street. So they have to go far, but kind of a joke, but you know, kind of funny too. Now, when you're down by the aquarium, there's a harbor cruise right here too. So you can, you know, just go buy tickets, get out on the water and go check out the harbor. You know, it's kind of a cool thing to do for the day. But again, you know, like I said, anytime people literally travel here from around the world, anytime you can live where, you know, people are coming to visit, you know, you got a good place. Downtown Long Beach is more of kind of an urban vibe. So, you know, if you're living in any of these condos in the downtown area, you're going to be able to walk to whatever you need: restaurants, grocery stores, bars, nightlife. You know, there's a lot of activity down here. A lot of, you know, touristy kind of places too. Like, you know, you have like Shoreline Park. You have, you know, the Lighthouse, which is in downtown Long Beach, which we'll talk about in a little bit too. But, you know, there's a lot going on down here, a lot of activity. It's a great place to live if you like that type of urban environment. One of the other cool things about this area, downtown Long Beach, you can rent the little scooters. They have them all over the place. Just rent them, you know, put your credit card in or in the app, and then just get wherever you need to go. Really convenient. Downside is that they leave them everywhere, and they have to come pick them up. Sometimes, you know, people just leave them right in the middle of a walking path. Yeah, you know, kind of one of those things where you got to deal with it, but it's really convenient, really handy, and it's one way to get around the city if you're going to be pretty much staying down in the downtown area. Another attraction in downtown Long Beach is the Long Beach Lighthouse, officially called the Lions Lighthouse for Sight. It was paid for by the Lions Club. It does light up at night. It's not an official lighthouse per se, but it does light up at night. It's in a, you know, the middle of a park. It's a really nice park, nice area to hang out. Close to the water. It was first lit up in the year 2000, and it's, you know, it's kind of a cool feature of downtown Long Beach. You know, if you're down in this area, it's right next to the aquarium. Come by and check it out. Just, you know, come hang out, ride your scooter up and down through the park, and kind of fun. As a side note, I'm standing here at the Lighthouse, and I can pretty much see, like, Shoreline Village is right here. The Pikes outlets are right over here. The Aquarium of the Pacific is right here. I can see the Queen Mary across the way. So, I mean, that just kind of gives you an idea of how close everything is in Long Beach. You know, it really is kind of a cool spot, you know, to live if you like, you know, getting around really easy. The other thing to note is the location of Long Beach in proximity to downtown Los Angeles. It's, you know, like I always like to tell people, in Los Angeles or in Southern California, you can get from, you know, Orange County to downtown Los Angeles in 30, 45 minutes or 4 hours. Just depends on traffic. It's probably one of the worst traffic spots in the country. as far as that goes. There is public transportation, but, again, you're going to be kind of stuck in that same situation. Now let's talk about some of the activities that go on in downtown Long Beach. Last weekend they had a country music festival all weekend. It was called Boots in the Park. A couple weeks ago they had a Puerto Rican festival, which is basically in the same park down by the convention center in Long Beach. They always have something going on down here, lots of activities. They also have the Long Beach Grand Prix, which is like so many people come down here for that. And they actually race in downtown Long Beach, which is, actually a pretty cool thing to see. It's basically, in a nutshell, if you're into a lot of activities, a lot of things to do, 24/7, this is the right spot for you. One of the other things too that I should mention is that, in a couple of years, the Olympics are actually coming to Los Angeles. There's going to be a lot of events in Long Beach and downtown Long Beach specifically, and the city's pumping in money to make a lot of upgrades into the city. So when we talk about housing prices in the city, everyone's expecting them to go up because of that. So, if you're actually looking to move into the area, should be a good investment, in the long run, because, with it, you're starting to see a lot of changes in the city. They're, trying to clean up a lot of the areas. So now we're at the Pike Outlet, which again is really close to the Aquarium in downtown area. There's, a lot of shopping in there. There are a lot of empty stores as well. But, it's a great little outlet mall. And it kind of spreads across, Shoreline Drive down to the Aquarium. There's a lot of restaurants. I would say a good bit of restaurants down in here. Entertainment, nightlife. There's a Laugh Factory down here too. So, if you're in the area, this is definitely a place that you're going to want to, go to and shop at and dine at night and stuff. Cool little area, cool little vibe. Now's a good time to talk about the real estate market in Long Beach. So in downtown Long Beach, you can actually find studio apartments for about $275. There's mostly in this area, in the downtown part, you're going to looking at condos, in high-rise buildings or, maybe a low-rise building. There are some units in like penthouse units in some of these high-rise buildings that are going to run you about $2.5 million. So I would say average, you're looking at about, $700,000-800,000, maybe $900,000 for, a two-bedroom. For $2.5 million, you're going to get about a 2,800 square foot unit overlooking, the harbor, overlooking the Queen Mary and stuff. So not overlooking the Queen Mary, but you can see the Queen Mary, you can see the Aquarium of the Pacific from the unit. It kind of really depends on what your budget is and what you're looking for. The other thing to point out too is that these are going to have HOAs, and the HOAs are probably going to start about $500 a month up on up, depending on where the unit is and what amenities are included. So now we're down at Shoreline Village. This is another shopping center. And it's kind of a cool little place. A lot of restaurants, a lot of shops in here. One of the other things, it's really close to where they have all the festivals down in Long Beach. So looks like they're setting up for something right now, but we'll take a look at that. So one of the other things down here in Shoreline Village you could do is they have Duffy boat rentals. So you can actually rent a little Duffy boat. If you don't know what a Duffy boat is, it's basically an electric boat, and they charge you by the hour, and you can just kind of go out in the little harbor and tool around. They're not very fast. You're not going to go water skiing on the back of them, but it's kind of cool to get out there and drive around the little harbor here. Like I was saying, one of the attractions of Shoreline Village is actually getting out. Some of these restaurants are right on the water out here. Right now we're passing a Yard House. There's all kind of really good restaurants down here, and ice cream too. Plenty of ice cream, and little shops. It's kind of a quaint little Shoreline Village. Now Shoreline Village is going to be one of those places where it's more touristy kind of. A lot of souvenir shops, a lot of there's coffee shops, ice cream, candy shops, pretzels, and a lot of souvenir shops down here too, and restaurants. So it's kind of a place you go to, sit by the water and have something to eat, and kind of just check out the people walking around. Right now in downtown Long Beach, there's a huge convention going on here. Talked to a couple people. It's an evangelical convention, so people are here from all over the country. So, in the video you might see people walk around in suits and stuff like that. Not normally what you would see in Southern California, but, today, that's what you're seeing. The convention center is huge in Long Beach, and they have a lot of conventions. Like I said before, a lot of activities going on out here. One of the attractions, especially down in this area, is the weather is always, I say always perfect, but damn near always perfect. 75-degree average throughout the year. Right now it's October and it's getting kind of hot outside, but it's pretty perfect. So when I talk about the home prices being a little bit higher than the rest of the country, a lot of that you get what you pay for. So I mean, you're living in Southern California, you're in downtown Long Beach, you're really close to the beaches, you're close to LA. You've got like 3 major airports right here. You have Long Beach Airport, which is very close, John Wayne Airport, and LAX, of course. And LAX is going to be about 30 minutes from here. John Wayne probably about another 30 minutes. So I mean, getting anywhere in the country is very easy. You're going to pay less money for the flights out of here too, because there's so many. You have competition. So it's a great place to live. Always sunny. During the winter, it gets sometimes it rains for like a week out of the winter, but for the most part, it's pretty perfect weather. And that's why out here we pay a sunshine tax in Southern California. But great place to live. Plenty of things to do. Shopping. Restaurants, tons of culture, like just anything you can imagine is going on out here. This is part of where the Grand Prix actually happens, down in this area here, which is down by Seaport Village. There's, like I said, there's a lot of conventions going on right now. So, a lot of people dress very nicely at these conventions. Southern California is, more laid back than that. So most people in Southern California are just t-shirts, flip-flops, just kind of hanging out. Unless you're going to do business, a whole different ball game then. So, it's just more of a laid back vibe in this area. So let's take a look at the little racetrack here. As you can see on the right, they're actually setting up for a marathon on the right side. A lot of people show up to these events down here. I mean, these things are huge. Coming up into downtown Long Beach, and you can see, I don't know if you can see on the left, a lot of apartment buildings, condos. The building up ahead of us with the tower on top of it. I've been told that a Navy admiral used to use that top tower up there to watch out for ships and stuff, which is kind of cool. That building's been here in this city for a long time. A lot of these buildings right here, you'll see the high rise on the left side of the screen. Again, the higher up you go, the more it's going to cost you. You could look at $1 million, $2 million condos in some of those buildings right there. Now we're going up here. We're going to take a left onto Ocean Boulevard and kind of drive down through the downtown area of Long Beach. And you'll see there's restaurants, there's bars, there's a gas station. In this area, there's a couple of different gas stations, not a lot. And as you can see, a lot of these, downtown areas, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of vacancies in the commercial areas of downtown. But with the Olympics coming, this place, I'm just, guessing it's going to get really busy down here. So right now we're passing by the Long Beach Convention and Entertainment Center. You know, again, a lot of people come down here, you know, come from out of town, and you know, they have their. We just had actually a realtor convention for the California Association of Realtors in the convention center as well. So, you know, it gets pretty busy, or it can get pretty busy, I should say. A lot of people come in here, they fill up the hotels, and you know, when the conventions are in town, you're going to wait a lot longer, you know, for like going out to eat. So keep that in mind too. And here's a really cool spot up on the right. I don't know if you can see it as we drive by. A place called Tacos and Margaritas. You know, it's a pretty happening spot there. Of course, you got Wells Fargo Bank, a lot of banks down here. The banks are always going to have real estate. So we're going over to the Queen Mary. We're basically right now passing by where all the cruise ships take off from, which is right next to the Queen Mary. So if you've ever gone on a cruise out of Long Beach, pretty much right next to the Queen Mary. So kind of a cool little spot. But let's go ahead and go over this bridge, and we'll be there in just a second. One of the other things too about, you know, in this area over by the Queen Mary, I don't think there's any housing over here, but right by here is the Port of Los Angeles. So, I mean, it's huge. I mean, there are containers all over the place over here. So, you know, if this is where all your goods are going in and out. So, you know, it's kind of a cool little area. But let's go down in here to the Queen Mary. And of course you got to pay. So let's pay. Now we're at the Queen Mary. The Queen Mary is a hotel / banquet facility. It is actually owned by the city of Long Beach. Right now it looks like they have a kind of setting up a carnival out in front of it, so we won't be able to get really close to it. But you know, it's a really cool place to come visit. It was closed for a long time, so they just got finished renovating it. So it's, you know, and oh, by the way, there's a haunted house going to be happening here too. So pretty cool place, and it's it is a fixture of Long Beach too. So very famous in the city of Long Beach, the Queen Mary. From the Queen Mary, we're actually going back into downtown Long Beach here. So you got to see kind of how close everything is, how quick and easy it is to get around. Because once we get over this bridge, we're back there. And as you can see right here, we can either go to the Aquarium to the right or go down to Ocean Boulevard. So it's kind of where we were earlier, down by the Lighthouse, by the Aquarium of the Pacific. It's all over to my right here. So everything's pretty close together out here. I'm trying to remember if there's anything I forgot to tell you. There's so much going on in Long Beach all the time. You know, and if you know, this is the type of environment you want to live in, you know, it's like I said, you know, a bunch of times in the video, busy. You know, mostly it's going to be down in this area anyway. It's going to be condominiums or apartment style living. You know, a lot of these buildings, you know, you have a variety of different things. A few months back, I saw a home or a condo listed for $750,000, and it was on the actual building was on the water. Of course, that condo didn't have a view to it, so that kind of, you know, my client didn't want to purchase it because of that. But for $750,000 and you walk out on the sand, it's actually not bad, and it was a good area. But there's a lot of condos like right on the water down here too, that are, you know, reasonably priced. You want to look at the HOAs on these condos. You want to, you know, kind of do your research on the HOAs and make sure they're not in any kind of litigation that could cause you, you know, to have to pay more money down the road. But for the most part, you know, you're looking at starting at about $450, $500 a month for the HOAs, and you know, it just varies. There's so many different condo buildings down in this area that you really got to do your research when you're moving into any of these. When you're looking to actually buy a condo, the condominium complex has to provide the HOA docs, and they have to disclose, you know, how much money they have in reserves. You know, which is very important when looking at these buildings. So even though some of these places you'll see are inexpensive, if you get into a situation where, you know, the condo needs to put it on a new roof and they don't have the funds to do it, it can get expensive. So that little bit of money that you think you're saving up front, you might not be saving in the long run. So, you know, you really want to do your due diligence when buying condos, and that goes for anywhere. The other thing too, you know, in LA, Orange County, you know, you're going to want to look at the, you know, the crime statistics for the area. Don't look at the city as a whole, although that's probably a good thing to do. Try to look and see if you can get like neighborhood crime stats, because, you know, whereas, you know, certain parts of the city are going to be, you know, more crime ridden than other parts, you kind of want to, you know, figure out where you're going to be living and see what it's like to live in that area. You know, just if you need any help on any of that stuff, just reach out to me, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. And again, you know, if you're looking to move to the area, go ahead and give me a call on the number down below. If you're still a little ways out, go ahead and click on that video up there and reach out to me if you need anything.